Welcome back to the Rodcast, guys. Hope y'all doing well out there. I'm your host, Rod, as always. And in this video, we're going to be taking a look at more local news simping for illegals, this time illegal Asians, instead of the usual suspects on my channel, which we cover, which is illegal Hispanics who are whining and crying that their illegal counterparts are being deported, and the local news media helps them along and perpetuate their message. Unlucky for them, most of the comments on their videos are against them because real Americans are pissed off that our land has been invaded by savages and we want them all dragged out of here, and we think that ICE is wonderful and heroic for doing what we want. Finally, we have a government where somebody, one president out of many, and this includes Republicans who have miserably failed on this, Trump is actually doing one thing that he actually promised. Politicians overall don't do what they promise, no matter how much we believe in them. And I've believed in many from both parties, and I'm sick of all of them, okay? But one guy finally is doing something he promised, and I'm very surprised, but I'm very happy about it as well.
Major story we are on right now, the fear of deportations has fueled fear beyond the Latino communities.
In Sacramento, the Asian American Pacific Islander and refugee communities are also seeing the impacts of the new immigration enforcement. KCRA3's Marisela de la Cruz heard from a Sacramento City Council member and an organization about these fears.
Raids at workplaces.
Increased immigration enforcement is stirring fear among Asian Americans.
Why would there be fear among you if you're here legally? Because ICE can't deport you if you're here legally, right? The only people that are dragged out of here and deported immediately are the ones with removal orders from an immigration court. Everybody else has to see an immigration judge. As soon as you see an immigration judge, they're going to look at your history, they're going to look at your record, and if you're here legally, you're not going to be deported. There's no way you can be deported. Okay, so they act as if ICE pick people up from the street and just puts them on a plane and they're gone. That's not how it works. The only way that happens is if you have usually multiple removal orders. People have broken in multiple times. Those are the ones who don't have any more chances. They get put on a plane and they're deported. But when it comes to people who are here legally, they have nothing to worry about. Okay, now I'm not a big fan of that because I don't support any immigration. I don't believe that anybody from across the world has any kind of right, no matter how much money they pay, no matter how much they contribute. I don't think any of them have a right to be in this country that my ancestors have been building since 1638. That's when they first came here from Sweden. And they were settlers, by the way. They were not immigrants. And there was no America at the time. It was a Swedish colony, which was subsequently conquered by the Dutch and then by the English, which is now known as Delaware. Okay, that's where my ancestors first came, into Delaware Bay in 1638. But anyways, America is for the Western and Northern Europeans who built this country and their descendants. That would be me. Okay. This one on screen here, she does not belong in this country. She belongs in China. Miss Fang over here doesn't belong here. Okay. She has a country, but she somehow believes that she has a right to invade Anglo-Saxon and Nordic land. That's what this country is. Okay, Northern European land. She thinks she has a right to invade my country that built by my ancestors and then complain when her illegal counterparts are being shipped out of here. Okay, this one's an anchor baby, so she's safe for now. But she's gonna whine here in a second about how her illegal Asian counterparts are being deported out of here, and she's mad. She's complaining to this local station who's listening to her complaints. But the local station doesn't give a damn about the complaints of the natives who have had our land invaded by dirty foreigners. But no, they don't care about that. They advocate for the foreigners to take over our land and then pretend like they're the victims when they get dragged out of here, the illegal ones.
We are feeling the impacts of ICE terror, and that's because our families all migrate to the United States, migrate to California under many different circumstances.
No, my family didn't migrate anywhere. This is my country. Wherever the Constitution applies is part of America, and my ancestors built America. Okay, we didn't all migrate here. You are an invader. Okay, and talk about terror. Seeing your face, all of your faces, is terrorism against me. Okay, talk about ICE terror. Your face is terrorism. ICE is not terrorism. ICE is doing their job and enforcing federal law and deporting savages who've broken into our country illegally. All those people are criminals, by the way. Anybody who breaks into my house is a criminal, and America is my house. And you can't break into it. You didn't build it. You have no right to be here, and you need to be dragged out of here. And you can call it ICE terror. You can call it fascism. You can call it Nazi, Gestapo. Use any word you like. We're still going to drag your ass out of here. Okay? Get ready.
to the United States, migrate to California under many different circumstances.
Asian Americans make up about 19% of Sacramento County's population. And while this
Yes, there should be exactly 0% of the population made up by your people. That's the point. We don't want you here. So you guys have your own countries. Okay, you need to go back to China and Japan and wherever else you came from, Taiwan. This is not the place for you. Okay, I hope you are scared and you run away.
year marks 50 years since Southeast Asian refugees first arrived in the U.S., many now worry that deportation could come without warning.
We are getting stopped at the border and getting detained at the border. We're getting detained in interactions with law enforcement, in ICE check-ins.
If you're getting detained, that's because you're not supposed to be here. Okay, that's why you're getting detained. It's not difficult to tell when someone's not an American. Okay, it's not that difficult. If you're getting detained, that's because you're illegals and you shouldn't be here in the first place. Okay, you can cry about it all you want, but it's not going to improve. What do you think is going to happen? That these local stations, if you whine and scream long enough, you think somebody's going to give you another chance to stay here after you invaded my country? No, I don't think so. You're all getting dragged out. You can cry about it all you want. That's the bottom line.
According to the Asian American and Pacific Islander Policy Initiative, ICE arrests of Asians tripled from 2024 to 2025, sparking alarm.
Our families are afraid to go to work, afraid to go to school, afraid to even go to their health appointments. People are canceling their doctor visits. Oftentimes,
good. That means there's more space for real Americans to go to the doctor. I want you to be terrorized. Saying that you're not going to be using our resources anymore, that you're going to be canceling appointments, you think that's an argument in your favor, but what you're saying is there's more space in these hospitals for real Americans. That's what you just said. Okay, you think you're saying one thing, but you're actually telling us another thing, which is that this is awesome. Okay, any real American watching this going like, great, let's do more ICE raids. I want them to be more afraid. Okay, because you don't belong here in the first place and you should not be taking advantage of the resources that are meant for us, real Americans whose ancestors built this country.
When there are issues that are impacting our communities of color, our immigrant community, you often don't hear the harm or the issues impacting our Asian American community. And a large part of that has to do with the model minority myth that Asian Americans that are Asian American immigrant and refugee.
I don't care what kind of model you are. The Republicans might give a crap about that, but you will never be American no matter what you do. Again, you're not Northern Europeans, you're not Western Europeans, and you're not descended from the slaves. You have no right to be here. History decides what every country is about, the demographics in that country. The ancestors who built that country and their descendants are the only people who have a right to be there. Let me give you another example. In China, I do not belong because I am a Swedish American. Okay, my ancestors built America, but not China. So I have exactly zero rights in China and should have zero rights. China is for the Han Chinese who've been building that country for thousands of years. Okay, more even older than America, actually. Okay, that's just a fact, another fact. So there you go. This is not, my ideology doesn't just affect America. It affects the whole world. Mine's based on history and tradition and who built what. Okay, that's what dictates my views. It's not based on any arbitrary anything. So it's the same for them. You guys all have your own countries that your ancestors have been building for a very long time. But you want to run away and abandon your country because you say you have problems. Okay, that's a sad day for you. You're going to have to fix them, not run away to my country and then pretend like you have a right to be here because you have exactly zero rights to be here. I don't know who told you that you have rights to be here, but you don't.
In response to the crackdown, more than 100 people gathered on Tuesday night for a candlelight vigil outside the USCIS Sacramento office.
Oh no, 100 people gathered. So this must mean that the entire state of California agrees with you. Bunch of bleeding heart idiots who have nothing else to do with themselves but to worry about illegal aliens who invaded our country. F off.
For Sacramento City Council member Mai Vang, the issue hits close to home.
This fight is really personal for me. As a daughter among refugees, I have family and loved ones who came here as refugees and got their green card revoked because of some poor decisions they made when they were very young.
AKA they're criminals and they got their right to be here yanked, where they should have never been given any rights at all. We got to cancel the green card program. That's number one. But nevertheless, we shouldn't be accepting any of these people here because they're scum, and you will see that they're scum, and that's why they're being deported. And the relatives of the scum are the ones who are here, okay, trying to keep the criminal scum in this country. These people pretend like saying the word refugee is equal to saying citizen. Refugee means nothing to me. You're just another illegal invader as far as I'm concerned. The fact that you have problems in your country is your problem. You need to go there and fix it. That's not our problem. We have no obligation to let you in. You're not our blood. You're not Germanic. You're not from the north. And I have no attachment to you. I don't care about you. I do not buy into this humanity stuff. Okay, humanity. Yeah, that word can be tossed around to defend literally anything. Ted Bundy can be defended by saying, oh, he's a human, so we have to care about him. No, I don't care about him. Nature has created us to care about our own tribe. That's what we care about. Our family, ourselves, and our tribe. That's what we care about. That is the natural instinct of most living mammals on this planet. That's science. Okay, if you don't like it, you have a problem with nature, not me. Okay, so I don't care about you. Okay, I don't care about people in Asia, Africa, all these places. They're going to have to solve their own problems. I care about my blood and my family and my tribe. That's my obligation by nature's law and by common sense. That's what I feel. You can say you don't agree with that. Okay, fair enough. But most people do agree with that. That's what most people feel. And in every country, by the way, not just in America. That's what every people feel. They want to take care of their own people. Talk to a Mexican. They talk about this all the time. La raza. That's what they're talking about. They're talking about their own people. Well, I'm not part of your fucking raza. I don't care about you. Okay? You can care about your own kind. But I care about my people. I'm preserving our Germanic people. That's what I care about. If you don't like that, that's a sad day for you. You can call it anything you like. Racist, xenophobic. Thank you. Thank you for the compliments.
These are turning to trusted messengers, not social media or officials, for critical information.
Recently, our office worked with HIP and Human Services to actually host a Know Your Rights workshop. We didn't put that on social media. We didn't post it up. Actually, what we did was share that with our elders, share that with our community, and we had over 100 people show up without it being marketed through the social media mediums.
Marisela de la Cruz, KCRA 3 News.
The AAPI community has relaunched the Pardon Refugees campaign. That's an effort to fight for pardons for Southeast Asian refugees and immigrants facing deportation. A rally and press conference will be held tomorrow at L Street and 14th Streets.
Yeah, you can hold any rally you like. You're not getting any pardons. You're a bunch of criminals, and ICE is going to hunt you down. No matter how much you protest and resist, we're going to hunt you down, drag you away back to the countries you belong in. How is it going to fix the problems in your country if you run away? Imagine if America has a certain problem, right? Some kind of civil war type of situation. How is running away to another country going to solve the problems in this country, in your country, for the people that are already here? Can every single American leave and go to another country? No, that's not practical. Okay, so that's the same thing with these countries. Let's say Laos or Myanmar or any of these countries in Asia have some kind of problem. Vietnam, they had a war. Korea, they had another civil war between themselves. How is every Korean running away to America going to solve the problem? And not every Korean can run away to America. Okay, but so a select handful people get to run away and hide in a foreign country instead of fighting with their compatriots, with their people, for their land and for their way of life. Instead of doing that, you're going to run away to America and we're supposed to accept you. We're supposed to take the dregs of the world. All the people with problems, we're supposed to take it in. No, screw that. And F that poem on the Statue of Liberty, which was put there by bleeding heart liberals who wanted to let this country be invaded by third worlders. Okay, the Statue of Liberty was given to us by France to symbolize American liberty for Americans, not for foreigners. Okay, that poem about give me you're tired, you're poor, whatever, that was put in there later on by bleeding heart illegal immigrant lovers. Okay, that's who put that there. That did not come with that statue. Okay, so not that I care about the French or their gifts, but I'm just telling you some facts. That poem was put there later on. And it doesn't have anything to do with the spirit of America. It has to do with the spirit of globalization and the destruction of the American identity and the destruction of the Anglo-Saxon culture here and the pillaging of our country by foreigners. That's what that poem represents. And it is disgusting. It doesn't say a word about the native people of this land. All it talks about are the problems of foreigners, not the problems of our own people. And it should be removed off the Statue of Liberty. And that's all I got to say for this video. Thank you so much for watching as always, and I'll see you guys in my next one.